Assalamu alaikum, my esteemed brothers and sisters in Islam. Allow me to pose a question that many of us have likely pondered countless times in the quiet of the night. Why is this happening to me? Why must I endure trials of pain, loss, fear, and confusion? It's important to recognize that hardships are a part of the human experience, affecting both the wealthy and the impoverished, the healthy and the ill. The difference, however, lies in the perspective of the believer. Each challenge has significance and is never arbitrary. Now, let's explore this paradox. Is your current suffering a punishment from Allah, or could it, in fact, be a concealed blessing meant to purify and elevate you? This is not merely philosophical musings, it is a profound question that holds the potential to transform your life. Misinterpreting your trials can lead to despair, hopelessness, and even a distancing from Allah. Conversely, viewing them through the right lens can turn those very struggles into catalysts for peace, forgiveness, and the promise of Jannah. Your response to adversity shapes your destiny. In the hours to come, we will journey together through the Quran, Hadith, and timeless wisdom to uncover this truth. Let's be candid for a moment. Many of us complain about trivial inconveniences like a slow Wi-Fi connection or a misspelled name on our coffee cup. If we deem these minor issues as hardship, we must reflect on what true trials entail. To understand your struggles, it's essential to consider how Allah describes these tests. Life, my dear brothers and sisters, was never intended to be devoid of challenges. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, clearly states in the Quran, "And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give glad tidings to the patient." Note the absolute language, surely, indicating that trials are not mere possibilities but certainties. Consider this: every hardship you face, be it the loss of a loved one, a business failure, or wrestling with your internal struggles, was predetermined for you long before your birth. The ink on your fate has already dried. This doesn't imply that you are trapped or without hope. Rather, it signifies that these trials have been tailored by Allah for your personal growth. Just as a physician prescribes bitter medicine for healing, Allah presents difficulties to heal your heart. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "When Allah wills good for someone, He subjects them to trials." This hadith should evoke a sense of reflection within us. Could it be that the pain you are pleading with Allah to remove is actually evidence of His love for you? Of course, you may be wondering, does this mean I should pray for more hardships? Not at all. You don't need to make such supplications. Life will naturally present its trials. The real inquiry lies in how to discern the true significance of these challenges. Sometimes such hardships may indeed serve as divine retribution. Allah says, "And we certainly sent messengers to nations before you. Then we seized them with poverty and hardship that perhaps they might humble themselves." Therefore, we face a crucial question: how do you discern whether a trial is a pathway to elevation or a form of punishment? The answer resides in your reaction to it, a theme we will explore further. Hardships resemble storms. They do not announce their arrival but strike suddenly and without warning. One day, life may be tranquil and predictable, and the next, you find yourself engulfed in sorrow, loss, or fear. You may experience job loss, a child's illness, a fractured marriage, or an overwhelming sense of emptiness, even in moments of abundance. In these times, Shaitan may whisper insidiously, "See, Allah has abandoned you. You are unworthy. Your prayers are in vain." If you succumb to these whispers, you may find your faith crumbling, your prayers fading, and a growing distance from spirituality. The hardship that was meant to elevate you could instead become your downfall. But take a moment to pause and reflect. Is this narrative truly accurate? No, for Allah never abandons the believer. He declares, "Indeed, Allah is with the patient." This is not a vague promise but a definitive assurance. In times of darkness, Allah stands by your side if you maintain patience. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reassured us that the most severely tested people are the prophets, then the next best, and then the next best. Your tribulations will correlate with the strength of your faith. Contemplate this: the prophets Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon them, were among the most beloved to Allah and endured the greatest trials. If hardship equated to divine disdain, surely they would have lived lives of ease. Instead, their struggles were a preparation for greatness. Thus, when you find yourself tested, recognize it as an enrollment in the same institution that crafted the prophets. Will you rise to the occasion with honor or succumb to despair? The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that no fatigue, disease, sorrow, sadness, hurt, or distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick of a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for that. Reflect on that. Even a minor discomfort is acknowledged as purification for sins. Now, imagine the immeasurable rewards for enduring sleepless nights, battling illness, or striving to provide for your family. Let's be honest, many of us complain over trivial issues, as though we had suffered a grave injustice when the Wi-Fi disconnects for 10 minutes. If such minor inconveniences can bring forth rewards, perhaps we should reconsider our complaints about them. Yet, there exists a peril. Hardship can either elevate or crush you. Should your pain lead you into haram actions, anger, backbiting, or neglecting prayer, then your trial risks being in vain. Imagine standing before Allah on the day of judgment only to realize that your tears and struggles yielded no reward because you failed to connect them to Him. That would be the ultimate tragedy. So, how do you respond correctly? With sober patience, not passive resignation, but active endurance, combined with dua supplication, even when the heart feels heavy. Hold on to tawakkul, trust, mindful that Allah's plan far surpasses your own. Every hardship resembles a storm. While you cannot halt the rain, you can learn to navigate through it. Those who persist with patience will reach the shores of Jannah. Yet the pressing question remains: how can you determine if the storm in your life is a punishment designed for correction or a blessing intended for elevation? The signs lie in your reactions, which we will uncover next. At the core of these discussions is this pivotal question: how can you discern whether your trials are blessings or punishment? The answer is not found in the trial itself, but rather in your reaction to it. If your struggles drive you away from your prayer, neglect of the Quran, and forgetfulness of Allah, then recognize it as a warning, a form of punishment that aims to awaken you. Conversely, if these hardships bring you back to the prayer mat, compel you to weep in supplication, and soften your heart, they are indeed gifts and blessings in disguise. Allah has promised that indeed with hardship comes ease. Observe that Allah states with, not after, indicating that within your trials lies concealed mercy, waiting to be unveiled. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, expressed, "How wonderful is the affair of the believer! Verily, all of his affairs are good, and this applies only to the believer. If something good comes his way, he is grateful, and that is beneficial for him. If something harmful befalls him, he remains patient, and that too is beneficial for him." So, let's be candid. The next time you lament about slow traffic or your favorite team losing, ask yourself if you're merely facing a test of patience or if you're failing a much smaller exam. Hardship strips away vanity and reminds us of our utter dependence on Allah. In our weakest moments lies immense strength, the strength of surrender. But what if your trials feel unending? What if you live with chronic illness for your entire life? What if your grief lingers indefinitely? Does that still account for a blessing? The answer awaits in the final act. Brothers and sisters, remember this truth: tests may last a lifetime, yet their rewards are eternal. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, foretold that, on the day of resurrection, those who suffered afflictions will be rewarded, prompting those who enjoyed easy lives to wish they had endured suffering instead. Do you grasp the profundity of that? Those who experienced ease will envy those who bore pain, as the rewards of patience are beyond imagination. Every tear, sigh, and sleepless night is meticulously recorded. Nothing is wasted. Allah, in His mercy, ensures that your pain does not go unrewarded. He promises, so be patient, for indeed the promise of Allah is the truth. Consider it akin to a gym. You've sought spiritual strength, and now Allah presents you with the weights of hardship. Should you refuse to lift them, how can your soul ever develop? Listen, dear brothers and sisters, if you squander your hardship through complaints, you risk losing both this world and the next. Yet, if you embrace your trials with faith, you will gain jhana for eternity. Each hardship is not merely a test, it is an opportunity, an open door, a chance to rewrite your destiny. Visualize this moment. You stand on the day of judgment, witnessing mountains of rewards amassed in your account. Confused, you inquire, "Yet Allah, from whence did all this come?" Allah replies, "This is the reward born from the hardships you endured patiently, the reward for every tear you shed in private. Would you not wish that your trials had been even greater?" So, my dear brothers and sisters, do not squander your storms. Do not mislabel your blessings as curses. Remember that hardship can either act as a punishment that pulls you away from Allah or a blessing that draws you closer to Him. Let every challenge remind you of this fundamental truth. This world is temporary, but jhana is everlasting.